Start.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Hare
apologies.
Krishna.
I was stuck in school, so Ugra Karma Prabhuji.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯ ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ, ಕರ್ತವ್ಯ ಇರುವವರೆಗೆ
Sometimes
ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್. ಓಂ ನಮೋ ಭಗವತೆ ವಾಸುದೇವಾಯ. ಓಂ ನಮೋ ಭಗವತೆ ವಾಸುದೇವಾಯ. ಓಂ ನಮೋ ಭಗವತೆ ವಾಸುದೇವಾಯ. ನಾರಾಯಣಂ ನಮಸ್ಕೃತ್ಯಂ ನರಂ ಚೈವ ನರೋತ್ತಮಂ ದೇವೀಂ ಸರಸ್ವತಿಂ ವ್ಯಾಸಂ ತತೋ ಜಯಮುದೀರಯೇತ್. ನ ಭಾಗವತ ಸೇವಯ ಭಗವತೆ ಉತ್ತಮ ಶ್ಲೋಕೆ ಭಕ್ತಿರ್ಭವತಿ ನೈಷ್ಟಕಿ. ಮೂಕಂ ಕರೋತಿ ವಾಚಾಲಂ ಪಂಗುಂ ಲಂಘಯತೆ ಗಿರಿಂ. ಯತ್ಕೃಪಾತಮಹಂ ವಂದೇ ಶ್ರೀಗುರು ದೀನತಾರಿಣಂ ಪರಮಾನಂದಮಾಧವಂ ಚೈತನ್ಯಮೀಶ್ವರಂ. ಓಂ ಅಜ್ಞಾನತಿಮಿರಂಧಸ್ಯ ಜ್ಞಾನಾಂಜನಶಲಾಕಯ ಚಕ್ಷುರುನ್ಮಿಲಿತಂ ಯೇನ ತಸ್ಮೈ ಶ್ರೀಗುರುವೇ ನಮಃ. ನಮೋ ವಿಷ್ಣುಪಾದಾಯ ಕೃಷ್ಣಪ್ರಸ್ಥಾಯ ಭೂತಲೆ ಶ್ರೀಮತೆ ಭಕ್ತಿವೇದಾಂತ ಸ್ವಾಮಿನಿತಿ ನಾಮಿನೆ. ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಸಾರಸ್ವತೆ ದೇವೆ ಗೌರವಾಣಿ ಪ್ರಚಾರಿಣಿ ನಿರ್ವಿಶೇಷ ಶೂನ್ಯವಾದಿ ಪಾಶ್ಚಾತ್ಯ ದೇಶತಾರಿಣಿ. ಜಯ ಶ್ರೀ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಪ್ರಭು ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಶ್ರೀ ಅದ್ವೈತ ಗದಾಧರ ಶ್ರೀವಾಸದಿ ಗೌರಭಕ್ತ ವೃಂದ. ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ 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 ಹರೇ ಹರೇ. ಹರೇ ರಾಮ 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 ಹರೇ ಹರೇ. ನಮೋ ವಿಷ್ಣುಪಾದಾಯ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಪೃಷ್ಠಾಯ ಭೂತಲೆ ಶ್ರೀಮತೆ ಜಯ ಪತಾಕ ಸ್ವಾಮಿತೆ ನಾಮನೆ. ನಮ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ಪದಾನಿ ತಾರ್ಕಿಕ ಪದಾನಿ ಗೌರ ಕಥಾ ಧಾಮಧಾಯ ನಗರ ಗ್ರಾಮ ತಾರಿಣಿ. Hare Krishna, Om Tassat. Welcome all devotees for Bhagavatam study. One of the best thing human being can do. Okay, what's the sloka number today?
Correct, Prabhuji. 10.
Which one?
10 Prabhuji.
10, huh? Okay, who's going to read? Anybody is there who allocated, or if not,
Archana.
anybody can read. Okay, if he's not there, go ahead, read. No problem.
Canto 2, chapter 8, text 10. Sa cha api yatra
Purusho.
Vishwa Purushaha Vishwastiti Udbhava Apyayaha Muktva Atmamayam Maya Ishaha Sete Sarvaguha Sayaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Please also explain the personality of Godhead who lies in every heart as the super soul and as the Lord of all energies, but is untouched by his external energy. Purport. Undoubtedly, the form of the Lord who was seen by Brahma must be transcendental, otherwise, how could he simply look upon the creative energy without being touched? It is understood also that the same Purusha lies in the heart of every living entity. This also requires proper explanation. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
So Prabhupada given a very small purport. So here Parashit Maharaj saying that please explain. So he's talking to Sukadeva Goswami. He wanted to hear more about Bhagavatam. So he glorifies Bhagavatam. Now he says, please explain the personality Godhead who lies in every heart. Of course, they're referring to Paramatma, Super Soul, as the Lord of all energies, but is untouched by external energy. So Krishna is not touched by the material energy. Krishna is not touched by Krishna is beyond that. Krishna is aloof. Even though it's been created by his own energy or his own direction, but he is not a part of it. He is not affected by it. That's the most important point. Like when we are in this water, we'll get wet, but he is not like that. He is beyond that. So that's why he's Parish Maharaj says that he is untouched by material energy. Prabhupada in the purport writes that undoubtedly the form of the Lord who has been seen by Brahma must be transcendental. Otherwise, how could he simply look upon creative energy without being touched? So Krishna can do so many things. He can do multitasking, or his senses can do, kind of a different activity. For example, he can see and he can take boga. May not put his hand and eat. Of course, there are cases where did that when the pure devotees offer. Otherwise, by just glance, he can consume. He can do so many things in so many, like not like us. Like, I mean, my eyes only I can see, but he can do so many things. So that's why Prabhupada says it is understood also that the same Purusha lies in the heart of every living entity. This also requires proper explanation. In the coming verses, we can discuss more on that. So there are few slokas without much purport. We'll continue to read.
Yes, Prabhuji, this is allocated to me. I'll be reading. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Text 2.8.11. पुरुषस्वायर्लोकः सफलः पूर्वकल्पिता लोकैरमुष्यवायया सपालैरिति शुश्रुमा. Translation. O learned Brahmana, it was formally explained that all the planets of the universe, with their respective governors, are situated in the different parts of the gigantic body of the Virat Purusha. I have also heard that the different planetary systems are supposed to be in the gigantic body of the Virat Purusha. But what is their actual position? Will you please explain that? Yes,
Maybe
Prabhu.
maybe we can read Srila Vishwanath Chakra Thakur's
Oh, yes, sure. Yes,
comment.
sure, Prabhuji. Yes.
Because Prabhupada
Uh,
has not written any comments.
yes,
You can
Prabhuji.
read from here.
Yeah.
No, that's okay.
Purushesvaya
Below it.
the planets and their protectors, were previously identified with limbs of the Purusha, and the limbs of the Purusha were identified with the planets. This I have heard. If there are more details, please explain them. Now Parikshit asks another question. The planets were previously imagined as limbs of the Purusha, starting in Srimad Bhagavatam 2.5.36. The limbs of the Purusha were equated with the planets starting in Srimad Bhagavatam 2.1.26. I have heard this from your mouth. If there are some other details concerning this, please tell that. I asked about the Jiva controlled by the Lord and the second Purusha situated in the universe. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.8.8. I have asked about the first Purusha, creator of the Mahatattva, Srimad Bhagavatam 2.8.10, and the third Purusha, situated in all the living entities, Srimad Bhagavatam 2.8.10. It is said in the Smriti, Vishnu Stutrini Rupani Purushasrakya Anyaho Viduhu Ekam tu Mahata Shrishte Dvitiyam Tantu Samastitam Tritiyam Sarvabhutastam Tanijasva Vimuchyate. The three forms of Vishnu are called Purushas. The first is the creator of the Mahatattva, the second is situated in the universe, and the third is situated in all the living entities. One who knows them becomes liberated. I have also asked about the totality of jivas in the present question about the limbs of the Purusha. These five questions are suitable for Santa and Dasya Bhakti. These questions indicate that Shukadeva should tell how the form of the Lord that Brahma saw is distinct from the Jiva. This is desired in Preeti Bhakti or Dasya Bhakti. So, what I just understood is that The planets are basically here imagined as the limbs of the Purusha, and this is being told in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 5, and also in the starting Canto 2, Chapter 1, and 1.26. That's what I understood, Prabhuji. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Parishar Maharaj is asking, explain different forms of the Lord. And Srila Vishnu Thakur explains how in verse 8, 10, Parishad Maharaj is asking. And here he also says that the three forms, Mahavishnu, Garbhodaka Vishnu, and Paramatma. From Mahavishnu, the millions of universes coming up, and for each universe, Garbhodaka Vishnu goes, and each Jiva, he goes as a Paramatma. So that is explained. And Srila Vishnu Chakratakura explains that. So Parishad Maharaj is saying, I have asked the totality of the jivas in the present question about limbs of Purusha. So there are 5 questions suitable for Shanta and Dasya rasa. So we know the 5 rasas, Shanta, Dasya, Vatsalya, and Sakya, and Madhurya. So these are the different rasas. But Vishnu Chakratapura mentions that is mainly for Preeti Bhakti or Dasya Bhakti. So that's the forms is explained here. Okay, next 12. Who is going to read Sloka 12? Anybody allocated?
Reena
Shruti
Mataji.
Mataji? Not there, somebody else read, please go ahead. Whoever available, please unmute and go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Canto 2, Chapter 8, Text 12. Yavan kalpo vikalpo va yata kalo anumiyate bhuta bhavya bhavat shabdaha ayurmanam cha yat sataha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Also, please explain the duration of time between creation and annihilation and that of other subsidiary creations, as well as the nature of time, indicated by the sound of past, present, and future. Also, please explain the duration and measurement of life of the different living beings known as the demigods, the human beings, etc., in different planets of the universe. Purport. Past, present, and future are different features of time to indicate the duration of life for the universe and all its paraphernalia, including the different living beings in different planets. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
So Parishad Maharaj is explaining, asking, please explain to me the duration of time for creation, annihilation, when each universe is getting created, when it's getting annihilated, and what happens, what's the time duration? So these are the questions asking, and what is the duration of each living beings, whether demigods or humans. So these are the questions asked, which will have answer coming up later. Okay, 13 will read.
This is allocated to me, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Canto 2, Chapter 8, Text 13. Kalasya anugati yatu lakshyate anvi brahati api yavatya karma gatayo yada shri dvija sattama. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Yeah.
O purest of the Brahmanas, please also explain the cause of the different durations of time, both short and long, as well as the beginning of time following the course of action. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah. So, I mean, Prabhupada has not given much purport here. So he says, Brahmana, Sukadeva Goswami, please explain the cause of the different duration of time. Why each jiva has got a different timing, each planet has got a different time zone, and what is the short, long term, time, and beginning of time, etc. So that's the question he's asking, and we'll see what is the answer Sukadeva Goswami going to give. So here, yeah, I think we'll move on to the 14. Yes, somebody can read 14. Hare Krishna. Anybody?
I will read, Prabhuji. I will read.
Yeah, please go.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Text Srimad Bhagavatam 2.8.14. Yasmin karma samavayo yata yenopagrihyate gananam guninam chaiva parinamam
Prashant.
abhipsatam. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Then again, kindly describe how the proportionate accumulation of the reactions resulting from the different modes of material nature act upon the desiring living being, promoting or degrading him among the different species of life. Beginning from the demigods down to the most insignificant creatures. Purport. The actions and reactions of all works in the material modes of nature, either in the minute form or in the gigantic form, are accumulated, and thus the result of such accumulated actions and reactions of karma or work become manifested in the same proportion. How such actions and reactions take place, what the different procedures are, and in what proportion they act are all subject matters of Maharaja Parikshit's inquiries from the great Brahmana Sukadeva Goswami. Life in the higher planets, known as the abodes of the denizens of heaven, is obtained not by the strength of spacecraft, as is now being contemplated by the inexperienced scientist, but by works done in the mode of goodness. Even on the very planet where we are now living, there are restrictions upon the entrance of foreigners into a country where the citizens are more prosperous. For example, the American government has many restrictions for the entrance of foreigners from less prosperous countries. The reason is that uh, the Americans do not wish to share their prosperity with any foreigner who has not qualified himself as a citizen of America. Similarly, the same mentality is prevailing in every other planet where there are more intelligent living beings residing. The higher planetary living conditions are all in the mode of goodness, and anyone desiring to enter the higher planets like the moon, sun, and Venus must qualify thoroughly by activity in complete goodness. Maharaja Parikshit's inquiries are on the basis of proportionate actions of goodness, which qualify one in this planet to be promoted to the highest regions of the universe. Even on this planet of our present residence, one cannot achieve a good position within the social order without being qualified with proportionate good work. One cannot forcibly sit on the chair of a high court judge without being qualified for the post. Similarly, one cannot enter into the higher planetary systems without being qualified by good works in this life. Persons addicted to the habits of passion and ignorance have no chance of entering the higher planetary systems simply by an electronic mechanism.
Yeah, sorry.
And according to the statement of the Bhagavad Gita 9.25, persons trying to qualify themselves for promotion to the higher heavenly planets can go there. Similarly, persons trying for the Pitralokas can go there. Similarly, persons trying to improve the conditions on this earth can also do that. And persons who are engaged in going back home, back to Godhead, can achieve that result. The various actions and reactions of work in the mode of goodness are generally known as pious work with devotional service, culture of knowledge with the devotional service, mystic powers with the devotional service, and at last, devotional service unmixed with any other varieties of goodness. This unmixed devotional service is transcendental and is called Parabhakti. It alone can promote a person to the transcendental kingdom of God. Such a transcendental kingdom is not a myth, but is as factual as the moon. One must have transcendental qualities to understand the kingdom of God and God Himself. Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
So Parishit Maharaj finally asked a question here. Then again, kindly describe how a proportionate accumulation of reaction resulting from different modes of material nature act upon a desiring living being, promoting or degrading him among the different species of life, beginning from the demigods down to the most insignificant creatures. So Parishit Maharaj, so many questions. The reactions, karma, how it works, and what is the result of that karma. Are they promoted? Are they demoted? Are they going to higher planetary system? Are they going to lower planetary systems? Going to heaven or hell? And what kind of a body they're going to get? Are they going to get a body of demigod? Are they going to get a body of most insignificant creatures? Maybe ant or worm in the stool, or what's going to happen? How this reaction going to work? How is the karma going to work? The different activities. So in one question, Parishit Maharaj has put so many things to Sukadeva Goswami to answer. Srila Prabhupada also written a wonderful purport. Srila Prabhupada, the first line itself says, the actions and reactions of all works in the material nature, either in the minute form or gigantic form, are accumulated as the result of our past activities. So today, whatever I'm enjoying or whatever I'm suffering is because of my past karma. That is the most important point I should understand. It is not because of anybody else. It is because of me alone. That is the first and foremost. And that is karma is such a complex, which normally a tiny brain like my brain cannot understand. Ordinary people cannot understand. Krishna has got a very, very complex theory behind karma. But Prabhupada also explains that such karma also can be mitigated, can be reversed, or can be stopped by the devotional service. Because Krishna in Bhagavad Gita spoke about 5 topics. He talks about Ishvara, who is Krishna, who is Lord, Jiva, who is Jiva, and he talks about Prakriti, and he talks about Kala, and he talks about Karma. So the 4 topics, Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, and Kala, cannot be changed. But karma can be changed. I can change my destiny. I don't have to lament saying that is my destiny. No, my destiny I can change. I have this full freedom. How can I be changed? By surrendering Krishna, because Krishna can change my destiny. Krishna can change my activities. So that's how the karma gets burnt. So Prabhupada says that so we can go to higher planetary systems, not with the strength of spacecraft, by experienced devotional service. We can go to higher planets. We have so many examples. Whether Narada Muni or Durvasa Muni or recent Sripad Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, they all had a travel to different planets. Or in Arjuna, in Mahabharata also we heard. So they all had a different travel to different planet systems, not with any spacecraft. They had tinge of their spiritual potency, they could travel that. So today we see in the society also, instead of worshipping Krishna, they are doing all kind of scientific way of either reaching to different planets, whether it is moon or any other planet, or even now last few days I'm hearing that because there is no rain, they are cloud seeding. They are taking the aircraft, going in between the cloud and putting some chemicals. But a simple medicine could have been that chanting the holy name, Nagar Sankirtan, worship Krishna and the devatas who are responsible for that. abundant rain could have happened, but we don't do that. Instead of that, we do all things. There are so many examples, Srila Prabhupada's time or later also. When Srila Prabhupada was in Hyderabad, some devotees are told Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, for last 3 years, there is no rain in Hyderabad. There is a drought. People are suffering because there is no food. Srila Prabhupada said, let's do Nagar Sankirtan. They all went Nagar Sankirtan. Next day, literally rained. So, rain, whether Indra or Krishna, they will abundantly give, provided we worship them. But instead of that, we do all kind of other things that may not be successful. Saraswati Prabhupada says, even on the very planet where we are living now, this earth, there are restrictions upon entrance foreigners into the country where citizens are, more prosperous country don't allow. Prabhupada give example like America. It's not easy to get a visa because America is a progressed country. They don't want people from the poor country to come and stay there and enjoy their wealth. So there is a restriction. So similarly, different planets got a different opulences in wealth. So everybody may not be allowed to enter unless I have the qualification. So this is the same logic. So like even India, every country people may not be allowed. So because we have a certain qualification and restrictions. Similarly, other planet also. So Prabhupada says, Maharaj Parishit inquiries are based on a proportionate actions of goodness which qualify one to this planet to be promoted to the highest region of the universe. So if I do punya, I can go to higher planets. If I go to papa, I go to lower planet system. But the result is that everything I have to come back here. Even if I accumulate punya, after enjoying it in Swarga, I have to come back. Even if I done sin after doing my suffering in the hell, I may get human body or any other living entity. Then I have to go through maybe 84 lakhs of species. They come back to human body. That's why Prabhupada says, even on this planet upon present residence, one cannot achieve the good position within the social order without being qualified with the proportionate good work. So we cannot simply achieve different positions without work. So Prabhupada says that one person cannot be simply become High Court judge unless he's been qualified. He has to study the law, he has to practice, and he should know the law. Then only he will be qualified to become a judge. Similarly, we cannot just simply take qualified to go to different planets or even to go to Goloka Vrindavan. Prabhupada says go back home, back to Godhead. Yes, Prabhupada said we can go back home, back to Godhead, provided we chant 16 rounds attentively, follow 4 regular principles, and at the time of death, we could able to remember Krishna. There is every chance, Srila Prabhupada gives a guarantee that we'll go back home, back to Godhead. But not with the mystic powers, not with any other activities, only with the para bhakti, the pure bhakti can take us to back home, back to God. Finally, last Prabhupada says, one must have transcendental qualities to understand the kingdom of God and God himself. I cannot understand Lord with my tiny brain, but with that transcendental qualification, the devotional service, I can understand. Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. Maybe because of mercy of the Lord, that Divya Gyan could be revealed to me, or with the mercy of my Guru, or Guru Parampara, Srila Prabhupada, or association devotees, I may get that knowledge, that path which I can attain to back home, back to Godhead. I'll stop here. Devotees can share comments or any questions. Want to start? Asha Mata, you want to start?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. My takeaway for today, one important thing. Today, whatever I am suffering or enjoying is because of my karma, past karma. Such karma can be mitigated by bhakti. There are 3 things, that is Ishvara, Prakriti and Kala, that cannot be changed, but karma can be changed by devotional service. The Supreme Personality of Godhead can do that. That's my takeaway, Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Lakshmi Mataji.
Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Mariappan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranams. Devotional services with the mystic power, karma, how it works after accumulation in different conditions, action and reaction. My present life is completely because of my past activities of bad and good, and Prakriti, Kala, Karma, Destiny. Destiny can be changed by surrendering to Supreme Lord Krishna. By using mechanical means of spacecrafts, one cannot reach the different planets with the present body provided on this earth. With good karma and required qualification, it is certainly possible to reach higher planets. And rain cannot be brought by modern science, but it is possible by spiritual means. Americans are not ready to share their wealth and comfort with the foreign nationals. Similar condition prevails in different planets. Only proportionate good work and required qualification, uh, one can reach higher planets. Everyone cannot assume the post of a judge without required qualification. Similarly, I must acquire required spiritual qualification for reaching higher planets. And everything is possible only only when I uh, do the devotional services as envisaged in the Vedic literatures and Acharyas guidances as per the ISKCON guidelines. I must abide and I must suitably qualify myself, and I must acquire required qualification. Then only I am eligible to go back home, back to Godhead. That much I understood, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Kanchana Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Try to get new points. And if the already points are covered, maybe we can ignore possible.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
In Srimad Bhagavatam 2.8.10, King Parikshit asks Sukadeva Goswami to explain the nature of the Supreme Lord. The purport clarifies that Lord is the ultimate super soul residing in every heart. While he initiates the creation, sustenance, and annihilation of this material cosmos, he is distinct from material energy. Supreme Lord has a spiritual form and never formless. Lord Brahma has seen that eternal form. True spiritual progress means engaging in the world without being influenced by material attachment. Because Lord is transcendental and pure, approaching him requires purity of consciousness. Devotional service helps in cleansing the heart of material contamination. Text SP 2.8.11. Maharaj asks Sukhdev Muni to clarify the exact position of planetary systems, demigods within the gigantic universal form of the Supreme Lord, Virat Purusha. The purport discusses the nature of Lord's universal manifestation. A sincere seeker of scientific understanding of Lord's creation must actively inquire from authentic spiritual master to progress in spiritual life. Spiritual master must be a bona fide guru in guiding you and protecting you from committing offenses in spiritual inquiries. Sincere devotional service, hearing Bhagavatam, cleans the heart from material faults, lust, anger, and greed. In Srimad Bhagavatam 2.8.12, King Parikshit asks to explain the intricacies of time, duration of the universe, lifespans of different living entities across the planetary system.
The purpose clarifies that time is a feature of the Supreme Lord, governing the temporary manifestation of material world. It dictates past, present, and future of everything. All material creations, body is finally impermanent, where the universal creations are temporary, measurable. The living entity, spirit, soul is eternal. Parikshit Maharaj questions highlight the ideal attitude of sincere seeker. Then in verse 2.8.13, it reveals how time, both macrocosmic life of the universe and human demigod life, is directly influenced by the living entities' karma, fruitive actions. Parikshit asked so many questions about time, different durations of time, the time trace the origin, how the karma dictate different type of lives. Karma dictates one's reality and not by chance. Time is not arbitrary force. It acts as Lord's mechanism to enforce the laws of karma. While material time causes birth, aging, death, transmigration, ultimate goal of spiritual jnana is transcend material time by surrendering to the Lord. Just as Parikshit Maharaj continually asks questions to reach the ultimate goal, sincere seeker must seek answers from bona fide master. In Srimad Bhagavatam 2.8.14, spiritual progression requires dedicated action in the mode of goodness and pure devotional service. Material actions and reactions accumulate proportionate, determining whether the soul is promoted or degraded. Every action, small or big, carries a proportionate reaction, karma, teaching accountability for our desires. By mechanical means, it is not possible to reach higher spiritual planetary realm. Attainment requires proper qualification. How a country imposes entry restrictions. While devotion, mystic power, or knowledge can lead to temporary material or planetary elevation, only parabhakti, devotional service, unmixed with material desire, can promote a soul back to Godhead. Bhagavad Gita 9.25 says, those who worship demigods will take birth among demigods. Those who worship ancestors will go to ancestors. Those who worship ghost and spirit will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. That is my understanding, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Yeah, Vidya Mataji.
ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ. ಕಾಂಚನ ಮಾತಾಜಿಯವರು ಎಲ್ಲದೂ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು, ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲೋಕಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ನಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಪಾಪ ಮತ್ತು ಪುಣ್ಯ ಅದನ್ನ ನಿರ್ಧರಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಭಗವಂತನನ್ನು ತಲುಪಲು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ದಿವ್ಯ ಗುಣಗಳಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಇದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಚಾಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಂದ ನಾವು ಏನನ್ನಾದ್ರೂ ಸಾಧಿಸಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಾನು ಇವತ್ತು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡೆ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
Sanatana Prem Prabhu, want to add anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yeah, so here in this verses, I'm really impressed by Parikshit Maharaj's eagerness to hear Krishna Katha, and not just hear the Krishna Katha, but analyzing it and asking questions, what his doubts are, getting clarification. A person who has only 7 days to live, still he wants to clarify all the doubts and understand in detail all the things. So his questions also shows how intelligent he is listening the katha, and at the same time he is analyzing all those things. So few points which I wanted is that spiritual knowledge should always be received to the disciplic succession from the proper channel, from a self-realized spiritual master. Second thing is that the questions asked with humility and genuine desire to understand the essential questions. So that is very important for the spiritual advancement. So we should always ask questions whatever comes in our mind when we are hearing, and for that to happen we have to hear very attentively. That is very important thing. And and the purpose of understanding all this cosmology and creation and the living entity is not for some intellectual speculation. but Parikshit Maharaj is doing it for awakening that pure devotion to Sri Krishna. So the Lord creates and controls this universe while always remaining transcendental to it. The Lord is simultaneously present everywhere as Paramatma and eternally situated as in personal abode. So that is his inconceivable potencies. And the conditioned soul accept different bodies according to his karma and desire. So that is not by Lord's partiality, or it is not Lord's desire. He is just getting the result of his own karma and his desires. And the highest purpose of understanding creation is for developing faith, devotion, and loving service to Krishna, which alone can liberate the soul from this material bondage. Prabhu, that's all from my side.
Hare Krishna. Shruti Mataji, want to add anything?
Yeah, Prabhuji, I had one question. Actually, you told that the karmas, what we do, determines our destiny. So, if a person has done any karma and it gets carried on to the next life. So, if a child is born mentally handicapped in this life, how can it rectify if the child is autism or specially challenged? How can it rectify its karma? It will not be able to do even bhakti. Then what, the whole life it will suffer like that only, or is there anything that can be done? Because mentally challenged kids won't be able to do anything.
Hmm. So, few possibilities, like certain karma left for that particular soul to finish off. So it may take that birth, and certain children, they die early because their karma finished. So they go. That could be one reason, or the parents' karma. Parents' karma also affects. So it's combination of all those things. So that soul, just because mentally retarded, doesn't mean that he cannot remember Lord. We cannot say that. There are so many children, they remember only that. Don't remember anything else. That's also there. So the consciousness is very difficult to understand. So why child gets a birth? Because some left karma to finish. Hope you're understanding what I'm trying to say, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm trying to. But Prabhuji,
So,
also another question. If a person has, I know I'm taking a little bit more time,
no,
sorry
it's
for
okay.
that inconvenience.
Yeah.
If a person has done something wrong in this life and he gets the punishment in the next life, but the person who has suffered because of that person, if this person has killed somebody, maybe the other person's family who has suffered, that person doesn't get justice, that person doesn't see him suffering or going through any punishment this life, they will feel bad, right? Because they don't know what next life this guy might be suffering something, he might get some problem and all. But the family who has suffered, they will feel God has been injustice, done injustice to them. This person hasn't suffered in this life or anything like that. So how does then that karma work over there? They'll feel injustice has happened. Yes, Mahabharata, Krishna told, yes, I'm protecting dharma, they have to suffer. But in many cases we see that nowadays criminals don't get punishment at all, and the people who were done injustice, they are the only one who are suffering, they don't even have money to fight the case. So then how can we tell that how will they remember their person who did wrong to them will get in next janma, and then they'll feel that justice has not been done by God, huh?
Yeah. So a few combinations. One, the person suffered also, suffering because of his karma. You understand what I'm saying? So you saying the
You're
person
telling the
who,
victim is also suffering. Okay, the person who is in the victim also
because
suffering
of
because
his
some other
karma.
karma, huh?
Karma, yeah, that's the one thing. And the person, the sinner, is not get punished. In olden days, they will next janma. Now we can see they are suffering the same janma also. Punishment comes in different ways. So even if it don't come, the victim will take birth as the wife or son or somebody and will punish him, or make him suffer, or maybe neighbor or enemy, whatever. So that will go. But that's the reason Manu Samhita talks about the punishment in the same life itself. If the person is killed, he should be killed, or person is done theft, hand should be cut. Because if you give that punishment, you don't have to suffer in the next life, one. And second, the people see then learn that others also will not commit mistake. That is why our Shastra gives that kind of punishment. But today in democracy, we don't have that. That is the reason all this kind of confusion and unnecessary injustice happening. In olden days, the kings will give justice. Somebody has killed, he will be killed. So that the victim also gets a kind of a satisfaction that yes, the sinner has been punished. And the person who committed sin also, you don't have to suffer in the hell and take so many births because his punishment is given instantly. You understand what I'm saying there? But today's world is like this. So beyond our control.
Okay, Prabhuji. Yes, I got it, Prabhuji. Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Anybody else wanted to say? I think Asha Mataji was trying to unmute.
That's what she was asking, the one who is suffering, why is suffering and why is not. We are suffering because I am suffering here because of my past karma. That was my answer actually. And the other person who is making me to suffer, that is our feeling actually. And that is because of our karma we are suffering. And then whatever he has to have, as you said, it may happen in this janma only for him or in the next janma also is possible. Because what I have to see is my suffering is not because of someone else, it is because of my past karma.
But
So
sorry, Sanatan Prabhu, go ahead, yeah, please.
No, I'm just saying, Prabhu, for this reason only, everybody should read Srimad Bhagavatam for better understanding.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Another point, sorry, I'll just finish. Another point that I will do some harm to somebody, then I cannot say, oh, this is your karma, you're suffering. I cannot say that. That's not my right. So that is okay. Mariappan Prabhu, yes, sorry, go ahead.
Prabhuji, sorry for interruption. That is why I feel somewhere you people have been explaining that don't try to understand the karma and its complex nature of the process nature, because it's highly complex and very difficult to understand for our this thing, our intelligence and our this thing, our this material world's justification and all. It is beyond this thing, our imagination and our intelligence. And that explanation really fits in everywhere, I feel.
Yeah.
It is very difficult to understand whatever, but the ultimate solution is devotion, sincere devotion, and a very strict discipline in following the spiritual practices, which only can rescue a person from this thing, all sorts of deficiencies in karma, I feel. So we have to follow the instructions of the Vedic literature as well as acharyas. That's what I feel.
Yeah. See, one definitely fully depend on scriptures and devotional service. And second, we should hear from other devotees, because certain situation, my perspective could be totally different. But when you hear from others, 2, 3 other senior devotees, they all say, Prabhu, what you're doing is wrong. Then yes, I'm at wrong. Maybe my perspective could be, I may be justifying my act. But when others are saying, I should hear, if I hear and understand that what they're saying is right, then I'll be better off. Otherwise, I'll try to defend my activities and I'll end up in the same cycle again. So I should be always like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Trinadapi Sunicena Tarorapi Savistuna Amanena Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. I mean, this is the level I should reach. Definitely, I'm not there anywhere.
Shravana. Listening.
Yeah. Okay. Pradeep Prabhu, want to say anything? You joined today after a long time. So if you want to say anything.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Pranam. Prabhu, for me, I think one good input I pick up from today's session, when you want to achieve something which is not normal, you also have to do something which is not normal. Otherwise, it'll only be what we call daydreaming. If I want to, I mean, in the slokas, the explanation was that even other planets do not welcome us if we are not qualified for that. Which means that if I have to really go to the Godhead, to the Lord Lotus feet, if I have to undo all my, I also understood that karma is something which can be changed. It is not that it is stamped on our head. I cannot keep saying that it is my karma. If there is an opportunity, I think I can change it. And by doing that, I also go closer to the Godhead. So for me, the moral is, I mean, while in the materialistic world, we speak about goals, ambitions, and uh, achievements and so on, those are only short term. Those cannot get you the ultimate, I would say, non-materialistic happiness. It can only get you pleasure.
Yeah.
So when you want to achieve something like that, you also need to plan accordingly. And you also need to perform certain kartavya according to that. And that is what God likes. And when you do that in a pious, genuine, honest manner, with highest integrity, the Lord will bless you to reach the Godhead. That's been my learning, but today it's again a reaffirmation through all of you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll stop here. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyo cha patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo nam ananta koti vaishnav vrinda ki jai Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. See you tomorrow, same time. Hare Krishna. Please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.